time, weather, and...
Hello and welcome to Driving with Todd. And I'm Todd. Hello everyone. I don't know what it is, but for the past week or so, I've had the song Surf's Up by the Beach Boys in my head. Now the song Surf's Up is my second favorite Beach Boys song. My favorite is Caroline No from the Pet Sounds album. That is just a phenomenal song. The Beach Boys can't beat that song with any other song. But Surf's Up's a close second. So why am I doing this reaction review? I was listening to XM today, and XM has the Beach Boys channel for a short period of time. And I was listening to that. And on comes the song Surf's Up. It's like, wow, I love that song. And as I'm listening to it, I'm thinking, that's got to be my favorite or second favorite Beach Boys song, with Caroline No being my favorite, because I love the song Caroline No. Well, as the song ends, on comes Caroline No. It's like, wow! I mean, I predicted that. How weird is that? And it plays all the way through. Then I'm going, okay, I got to do a reaction review of Surf's Up now that it played on the radio and it was followed up by Caroline No. I got to. So what about the song Surf's Up? Well, Surf's Up is written by Brian Wilson. He wrote the instrumental backing track, and Van Dyke Parks wrote the lyrics. And this was 1966-67. The song was to be put onto the album Smile in 1967. Well, that album never materialized. It just didn't happen. There was an album called Smiley Smile released in 67 by the Beach Boys, and the song Surf's Up was supposed to be on that, but Brian Wilson said no, he didn't want that song on that album. So it sat in the can until 1971. When Al Jardine and Carl Wilson thought, hey, it'd be kind of cool to use that song on our next album. Now, that next album was supposed to be called Landlocked, and it was the second album for Brother Records that was distributed by Reprise Records. Now, Smiley Smile in 67 was on Brother Records, but it was distributed by Capitol Records. So this would be the second one distributed by Reprise. Well, they pulled it out of the can. Brian Wilson did not want it on that next album, that Landlocked album. But the group convinced them, you don't have to be a part of it. We'll do all the work. And Brian agreed to that. Well, Carl Wilson did the vocals. They were going to re-record the first section. This song is made up of 3 sections. There's the first section, and then there's a second section, which is a piano and Brian Wilson singing the lyrics. And then there's a third section, which is a song called Child is Father of the Man. So on the first section, they had the instrumental backing track, and they thought they would just re-record it as the Beach Boys. But they couldn't get that to work, so they used the original backing track that Brian had recorded back in 1967, and then overdubbed Carl Wilson's voice. So Carl Wilson sings the first portion of this song. Then they used the track that Brian recorded in 67 with his piano, which to me is the most beautiful section of this song. I just love that section of the song. It's just tremendous. And then Al Jardine sang the lead on Child is the Father of the Man. Brian Wilson did come in on the recording session for this at the end and helped with finishing up Child is the Father of the Man. So it does include Brian Wilson. So all the Beach Boys did participate in Surf's Up. It was such a big song for the Beach Boys that the album's title changed from Landlocked to Surf's Up. So it was released in 1971 as Surf's Up. It was also the second single pulled from that album and released in the United States. Unfortunately, it didn't chart. I think it was way too heavy for most people to listen to on Top 40 radio. So here's the Beach Boys doing my second favorite song by that group, called Surf's Up.
The diamond necklace played the pawn, hand in hand some drummed along. Woe to a handsome man at baton. A blind class aristocracy, back through the opera glass you see the pit in the pendulum drum. Colonnaded ruins canvas the clown and brush the back door. Are you sleeping? Hung velvet overtaken me, dim chandelier awaken me to a song dissolved in the dawn. The music hall, a costly bow. The music, all is lost for now to a muted trumpeter's swan. Colonnaded ruins canvas the town and brush the back door. Are you sleeping, Brother John?
Okay, stop it right here a second. So that's the first movement of the song. Carl Wilson's voice on that is just tremendous. I mean, he just fits that section of the song so well. And when he goes into his falsetto voice, that just sends chills up my spine every time I hear it. Love that beginning piano, and that piano plays out throughout that whole first movement. Love that. The bass guitar just holding that song, that section together. That bass guitar is just dynamite. You got some bells in there or chimes in there, which sound great. They kind of go ching, 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 ching. Love that part. They got a little bit of electric guitar in there. There's just so much going on in that first movement. I mean, it's genius. I mean, Brian Wilson is a genius, or was a genius, and he put that together, and it is just phenomenal. If you sit back and just listen to all the instrumentation and how it all fits together, it's fantastic. But then you overlay Carl Wilson's voice on that, and it's pure magic. So let's keep on going. We're going to go into the second movement next.
Dove-nested towers, the hour was strike the street, quicksilver moon. Carriage across the fog, two-step to lamplight cellar tune. The laughs come hard in Auld Lang Syne. The glass was raised to fire and rose the fullness of the wine, the dim last toasting. While at port adieu or die. A choke of grief, heart hardened I, beyond belief, a broken man too tough to cry. Surf's up, board a tidal wave. Come about hard and join the young, and often spring you gave. I heard the word, wonderful thing, a children's song.
Okay, stop it right here. So now that was the second movement. Now we're moving into the third movement. And that second movement is just so beautiful. It's Brian Wilson sitting at a piano. And from what I understand, they've done several different takes of this piano version with Brian Wilson singing throughout like a year and a half period. It wasn't all done at one sit down until they got one that they really, really liked, which was obviously this version right here. And it's just beautiful. And you can't you can almost not well, let's say, how can I say this? You can't almost hear the difference between Carl Wilson's voice in the first movement and Brian's in the second. Brian has that great falsetto voice too. So he takes that falsetto voice and really amplifies the lyrics of this song. It's just great. And they double tracked his voice in the beginning of this portion of the song, this movement of the song, the second movement. His voice is double tracked in there as well, which is kind of cool because it gives it a real like heady feel of the song. And then you got that really strong bass in there as well, a real strong bass guitar following up that piano. But that is just a dynamite piece of music, that second movement in Surf's Up. Just a great piece of music. Now we're going to finish it up and get the band involved. Let's see how this goes. Oh, that is just a beautiful song. Just a beautiful song. Like I say, every time I hear this, it sends chills through my body. It's just such a fantastic song, and the art form of how they put this together, how Brian Wilson initially visualized this song, and that always amazes me with the Beach Boys, and especially songs written by Brian Wilson. Now, as the group matured, all members of the group wrote songs, but initially it was a lot of Brian Wilson and Mike Love, and then into the mid '60s it was Brian Wilson and Van Dyke Parks. But the musical portions of these were just amazing. The brilliance of Brian Wilson putting these different instruments and different pieces of music together to make a song, just tremendous. And like the ending, I love the ending as well. You have Al Jardine singing the main verse of the ending of this song, but then you have the Beach Boys doing what they do best, and that's harmonize. And it's the piece of the music in Surf's Up where you have the group actually harmonizing together. And there's no better, in my mind at least, group that can harmonize better than the Beach Boys. Beach Boys harmony is phenomenal, just phenomenal. So there you have it. That's the Beach Boys doing Surf's Up from the album Surf's Up. That was released in 1971 when the song was originally written and recorded in 1967, shelved, and then finally pulled to finish the song in 1971. And I always love the cover of this album. This is the cover of the album, what you see in front of you there, with the American Indian on the horseback. I just always thought that was a cool cover. And what's unique about that, there was a garage. It's not there anymore. At least the garage door isn't there anymore. There was a garage in the neighborhood that actually had that picture painted on the garage door. And every time I went by, I thought, how cool is that? There's Surf's Up on the garage door of this guy's garage. Just really neat. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you enjoyed the Beach Boys doing Surf's Up. Again, my second favorite Beach Boys track. I love the Beach Boys. They are phenomenal. So if you enjoyed this, hit that like button. That's the old thumbs up button. I'd really appreciate that. And if you have any comments about the Beach Boys doing Surf's Up, hey, put in the comments below. That'd also be really appreciated. Now I'm going to take a link to this video and put it in my description below. So if you want to watch it again, click on that link, it'll open up, play for you, and I won't be stopping it this time. I'm also going to put a link to the channel that upload this video into my description below. So if you want to check out that channel, see what else they have to offer, click on that link. It will take you right to that channel. Now, have you subscribed to Driving with Todd? If you haven't, why don't you do it right now? You have my video open. Just go below my video, hit that subscribe button, and you'll be making me very happy. If you go over here and ring the bell, you'll get updates to my latest videos. So, again, I had this on my mind, and when I heard it today on XM, followed up by my favorite Beach Boys song, Caroline No, I said, I gotta do a reaction review of Beach Boys Surf's Up. It put a big smile on my face. I'm hoping to put a big smile on your face, and peace out, baby.